Are you here filming the checkpoint, buddy?
What checkpoint?
They were setting up a location
Whereabouts?
around this area somewhere where they were looking at vehicles.
Oh, really?
They're going through, searching for weapons, shaking people down. You haven't heard about that?
No, well, that's what they're doing over here. They're searching for weapons. But sorry, mate.
Where about that?
We just got to keep it.
Oh, do we?
Got the police right there.
Yep. Have you seen the location that they designated?
Yeah, it's like sort of this block area around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying to set up a roadblock, have they?
Well, that's what was reported, and they put in the submission. That's what I've been looking for, but so far it's just officers on foot.
Yeah.
Have you seen any action?
No. I guess I'm just going to go around and do the motions.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen.
See, it's a good thing that people were warned ahead of time so they know to be cautious about the police presence here in Geelong. But yeah, it's good to keep an eye on them, just to keep them in check. Somebody has to police the police because, you know, otherwise the power just gets to their head sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been saying, haven't we?
Yeah, that's right. A bit longer.
Yep. Good on you, what you're doing. You're a citizen journalist, are you?
Naturally work for News Corp.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you never know what you'll say. Sometimes it's, you know, quiet stages and then all hell can break loose.
Yeah.
It's unpredictable, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
So they got their iPads there. What's that, facial recognition? They take a picture and run it through the system. Makes it hard when people are wearing a mask, doesn't it? They can't profile them. Works against them.
Yeah.
They've been saying about these face shields. They're trying to ban those because it protects the victim's eyes from pepper spray. So I keep eyes on the ground, report protests, matters of public interest.
Okay.
And just keep an eye on things. Independent media. Yeah, we need a lot more people covering the news, don't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Different points of view helps the public make a more informed decision,
Yeah.
doesn't it? You've been covering this long today? You've been here a few hours, or?
No, not that long. I've just picked them up before in the mail, probably about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Probably got enough to get.
Oh, okay. That'll be published in the paper or online?
Yeah, it's in the paper and online.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's multiple groups of four, or is this just the one?
They're doing alright.
People just have to exercise caution, you know.
Yeah. Well, look, they're very passive and all that, and don't have it like box here and that. Fucking, we've never had an issue with them. Not like Melbourne and that. So.
I guess they're all lumped into that same bracket.
Like a soldier, you are directed by order. If you don't follow orders, you don't have a job. And unfortunately, that's their direction. So if you need to occupy or without them, you go above their head. It's democracy and how it works and how we vote and how everything works. The liberal, the new left way of thinking counteracts 2 world wars of how our forefathers protected and how everything operates. So
it's not good for the police.
No one likes it.
It's not good for their reputation when you see the elderly being beaten and disabled people being stomped on. It's not good for public relations.
Yeah, look,
and that affects their whole image, doesn't it? Though.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give you one thing though. Geelong Police are pretty good. Like an oath, mate. You'll never get over heavy-handed here and there. They know all the fucking fuckheads, and these guys are only first, second year street patrollers. They're yet to know the people in the town, and after 4 or 5 years they will. Mm-hmm. And trust me, the ones that need a good fucking rapping will get it, and the ones that don't. And that's good policing. I'm ex-military anyway. So
are you?
I know how it works. But,
okay. And
I used to kill for a living.
Wow. And you feel comfortable with the current conditions?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. CCP, China.
Yeah, exactly.
What it is, it's Daniel Andrews. The loan that they paid him for to get So the money's in his pocket, mate. It's dispersed. No one can find it, mate. It's there hidden, ready to come in. But believe me, mate, reason why, at the end of the day, the CCP, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, and when all these businesses go bankrupt...
Why are the police acting in the way of the CCP measure?
That's
you know
right.
What I mean? So what it comes down to is not the police. Do not harass the police. They have families to go home to. They're just like you and me, right? They earn a wage. They pay a mortgage. You know, hello. You know, right? It's Daniel Andrews, mate.
Yep.
If you want to fucking really pinpoint all your hard targets, you know, talk to the cops. Talk to them and ask them what do you think in here and there, and there'll be they can't opinionate too much because by law.
Yep.
You know, they're smart enough, so you won't, you know, to a degree.
Absolutely.
You probably might trap one or two, but at the end of the day, they're apprentices, so it won't stick.
So when you want to get to the root of the problem,
mate, you cut the head off the snake.
Yeah. Good on you, brother. You take it easy.
Never forget.
Enjoy yourself.
Australia.
Good. So we're here surveilling the area in Geelong, keeping a watchful eye on the police, making sure they're not getting heavy-handed on the elderly or using excessive force on disabled individuals, which we've seen in the past. These, yeah, too many of these police are getting away with far too much, and their actions are downright criminal. We must observe them while they execute their duties, because they're not to be trusted. Yeah.
He's homeless.
And they're just hassling him, and he's a vulnerable member of the community. That's atrocious to see, isn't it? Go and see if he's alright. It's so upsetting to see vulnerable people harassed and interrogated by the police. Is that why they join the force, to pick on the most vulnerable? The people that are desperate for help? They're the ones that are being punished. Yeah, the police brutality, the corruption, it's downright out of control, and we've got to put a stop to it.
My partner does not like them at all.
No, that's completely understandable. What they've been doing lately to the elderly.
What as well?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And disabled people, it's outrageous, and we need to put in complaints.
Yeah.
We need to get these people removed. They need to hand in their resignation. And put in their badge and their gun, because what they're doing is working against the people, not for us.
So one thing, it's we're all human beings, but poor guy's homeless.
Absolutely, and that's who seems to be targeted the most. A total invasion of privacy on display here by Victorian police, hassling teenagers, patting people down, looking for weapons. This is completely inappropriate behaviour. So the motto should be to protect and serve, but it seems like it is harass, interrogate and instill fear in vulnerable members of society. This is appalling behaviour, and their superiors should give them a strict talking to and give them a lesson on compassion, because the heartless behaviour being exhibited is totally inappropriate and it's downright offensive. Taxpayers' money is being used against people, and the police presence in Geelong is something that is very intimidating and alarming when people are completely innocent and going about their day in a peaceful manner. The people deserve much better. Trying to interrogate citizens that are just going about their day. The harassment is out of control. Nobody can escape this sort of treatment. People walking down the street, this is what they're faced with. Security guards, police working in teams. They're using devices to search for any type of metal, any firearms or weapons. This is complete overkill. So joining me is Eilish. She has hit the scene doing her part to keep the streets safe. Thank you for joining me. Now, what's your impression of the excessive force being utilised by Victorian police?
Well, Jeff, I've been wandering around town with you, around this beautiful town of ours in Geelong for the last couple of hours, and we've seen some pretty unnecessary heavy-handed tactics used by the police, which I think is really unnecessary, because I know the type of people that live here in Geelong, and there's young families, there's elderly people, there's pensioners, there's people, just young people going out on their daily walks, and they're pretty innocent, unarmed people, you know. So I just think it's really, really unnecessary, and it's a bit of overkill. So, you know, it was really fun walking around and following them around with you today, Jeff. And surprisingly, I never got asked once where my mask was, which was really interesting. And I think it's because it was the Victoria Police rather than the UN Black Police with the blackout Australian flag, which is part of the Strong Cities, Resilient Cities and program. I think this was actually a Victoria Police initiative, although it's so hard to tell these days. And the reason why we were so alarmed about this police operation is because we have seen the heavy-handed tactics in Melbourne happening to our brothers and sisters just across the water here in Port Phillip Bay. So as a result, we thought we would police the police today. So coming back and having done my show this morning, hey Thomas, what I saw with the press release and with the non-consent from a resident here in Geelong called John Andrews, and he said, we do not consent to this heavy-handed use of police, you know, interrogating our innocent civilians. I was on red alert, and it really triggered all my ancestral memories of stuff that had happened in the past in the communist countries, because I'm seeing the encroaching communist type regime and the mentality and the neighbours dobbing each other in and everything coming in to play. But I was really surprised about what a non-event it was. So I guess my summary is that it was a Victoria Police initiative to keep our streets safe, rather than a black Gestapo UN police tanks and machine guns thing. But the thing is, Jeff, what we know is 130 Geelong police from the Victorian police, the blues, not the blacks, our boys and girls in blue, have been issued with semi-automatic machine guns. So if anybody has got concern in the community about weapons being carried in town, it's actually the civilians against the police, and that's who we should be concerned about, because there's no reason to have 130 semi-automatic weapons, rifles, whatever you call them, in Geelong.
Very good description of what's taking place. They are armed to the teeth.
Yes.
And it's drastic measures that are being used, and they seem to be targeting vulnerable people and also the young teenagers, people that might not be well versed in the law, so they can take advantage of them. They
and
were doing
intimidating
shakedowns.
them. Yeah, we saw that today, and it's like, come on, guys, they're just kids on skateboards and having a cigarette. They're probably too young to have a cigarette, but if that's the worst that they can do, just leave them alone. They haven't got anything on them. But they were doing the sweeps, they were doing the body sweeps. They also harassed a homeless man. You know, I'd rather give the homeless man a Salvo's voucher or a hamburger and but I am pleased to report that it wasn't as bad as the feelings or the I guess we were anticipating much worse. So overall, I feel like citizens of Geelong can sleep well in their beds tonight, and we're safe for now. However, the operation does continue tomorrow. We don't know if this was just the entree, so we will be back tomorrow for main course, and we will see if it amps up or whether it's a fairly soft measure as it was today. Soft compared to the police brutality we have seen in Melbourne. I mean, there was intimidation, they were walking in groups of 5, but we stood back and they didn't even question me about the mask. So I'm pretty happy overall with today, Jeff, and it's been lovely walking around town with you today, policing the police.
It certainly has. It could have been more devastating, and the results could have negatively impacted more people. Fortunately, that did not happen, but it's still recommended to approach this area with caution, because it's very unpredictable. The nature of the police, you never know what to expect from them.
Yes, and that's the thing. So I suggest anyone that needs to or chooses to come in town just to see what's going on, or like us wants to police the police, stay a few meters back from them. I mean, I stared them down anyway, but yes, just stay back from them and but I'd say if there's any heavy-handedness, by all means, don't just pick up your phone and film it. By all means, get in there and rescue your fellow, people in town, because it's going to come to that point where we might have to, protect other fellow citizens from the police who've got these, semi-automatic assault rifles and the mace and everything else. As we get into the warmer months, it's going to be hotter and hotter out here in Geelong, and then it's going to be really concerning because there's going to be, we can't even wear a face shield now, so it's really, really wrong.
Absolutely, it certainly is. Well, I applaud your efforts in keeping the
And
community
yours,
safe.
Jeff. Thank you.
And looking after the welfare of others. It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, and thank you for all the work that you do, Jeff. You're an absolutely amazing journalist, and thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Much appreciated.